The Bold and the Beautiful is about to deliver one of its most jaw-dropping twists yet. Thomas Forrester is back, a wedding is on the horizon, and the identity of his bride could change everything. But this isn't just about Thomas, it's about Ridge, Taylor, Paris, and Brooke, all caught in a whirlwind of love, betrayal, and impossible choices. Let's dive into the shocking spoilers for the first week of September. Thomas's return to Los Angeles is not just another storyline, it's the calm before a storm that could tear the Forrester family apart. When we last saw Thomas, he was consumed with the idea of marrying Paris Buckingham. He envisioned a grand wedding at the Forrester estate, a ceremony that would not only celebrate his love but also restore his reputation as a man worthy of trust and redemption. Now, with his reappearance set for early September, whispers are growing louder. Will Thomas pick up right where he left off with Paris? Or will he throw the entire family into chaos with a shocking twist? Behind the scenes, rumors point to something far more elaborate than a simple wedding. Speculation swirls that Thomas might push for a double wedding, pairing his big day with his father Ridge's long-delayed marriage to Taylor Hayes. Just picture it, father and son standing side by side, pledging their futures in front of family and friends. It sounds picture-perfect, until you dig beneath the surface. For Ridge, this would be a nightmare in disguise. Being forced into a joint ceremony would magnify his inner conflict, exposing feelings he can no longer hide. And for Thomas, it could become a dangerous gamble. If Paris is still his bride, he may rush forward blindly. If she isn't, then who will stand at his side? That's the burning mystery, and when the truth is revealed, it promises to leave everyone in shock. Even before Thomas sets foot back in town, Ridge Forrester's life is already spiraling. He is officially engaged to Taylor Hayes, a woman who has sacrificed and endured for him time and time again. Taylor represents safety. She represents a calm future, free of the chaos and scandal that Brooke Logan always seems to bring. On paper, Taylor is everything Ridge should want. But in his heart, Ridge knows the truth. His love for Brooke never really died. Their time together in Italy reignited feelings that he had buried under duty and guilt. Every glance, every shared memory with Brooke pulled him back into the orbit he has tried, and failed, to escape countless times before. That leaves Ridge trapped in a brutal emotional tug-of-war. He doesn't want to devastate Taylor, who has built her hopes around a future with him. But the longer he delays the inevitable, the more he risks destroying her in the most public and humiliating way possible. Now, imagine the weight of being pressured into a double wedding. Taylor would likely see it as a dream come true, a chance to cement their bond and prove to everyone that Ridge is hers. But for Ridge, the idea of standing beside Taylor at the altar while secretly longing for Brooke would be unbearable. One slip, one glance, one hesitation, and the entire facade could crumble in front of both families. This isn't just about romance anymore. Ridge's turmoil threatens to ripple through every relationship, including his bond with Thomas. If Ridge cannot choose between Brooke and Taylor, how can he stand beside his son at a double wedding without exposing his fractured heart to the world? And then, there is Paris Buckingham, the wild card in all of this. When Thomas left Los Angeles, she was still his fiancée. The two were planning a glamorous wedding in Paris, fueled by Thomas's insistence that she was the woman who could help him build a stable, respectable future. Yet, since their departure, the show has gone silent on their relationship. That silence is deafening. Has Paris remained quietly in Thomas's life, waiting patiently in the wings for her big moment? Or did their romance fizzle out overseas, leaving Paris to return home on her own? Viewers are left guessing, and the uncertainty only fuels speculation. If Paris reappears as Thomas's bride-to-be, the Forrester family will react with shock and confusion. Many never saw Paris as a true match for Thomas. Some even viewed her as a distraction, a convenient partner at a time when he needed redemption. Paris herself is ambitious, career-driven, and not always anchored to one man. Could her loyalty to Thomas have survived the pressures of life abroad? On the other hand, if their engagement has ended, the stage is set for a jaw-dropping twist. What if Thomas returns with an entirely different bride? Could he reignite his complicated connection with Hope Logan, a woman whose history with him is as dark as it is magnetic? Or could B&B throw in a completely unexpected character, someone no one has seen coming, to take Paris's place at the altar? The beauty of this storyline is its uncertainty. Paris might still be the fiancée, or she may have been quietly written out of Thomas's romantic future. Either way, the reveal will hit with the force of a bombshell. For fans, the real question isn't just who Thomas will marry, but what this choice will say about the man he has become. The idea of a double wedding may sound like a fairy tale on the surface, but in the world of the bold and the beautiful, fairy tales are only ever a setup for heartbreak. For Thomas, the plan seems golden. Unite his destiny with his father's, stand proudly as a Forrester man ready to turn a new page, and show the world that love still triumphs in his family. For Taylor, it's a dream that sparkles too brightly to ignore. To have her son and her own relationship with Ridge celebrated together feels like fate itself smiling on her. But beneath the champagne toasts and floral arrangements lies a ticking time bomb. Ridge may be walking toward Taylor in body, but his heart is drifting steadily back to Brooke. Can he really stand before family and friends, slip a ring on Taylor's finger, and pretend the longing in his eyes isn't for another woman? Every second of that ceremony would be agony, every promise a lie etched into stone. And then there's Thomas. If Paris is indeed the bride, will she sense the shadows of hope still haunting his heart? If she isn't, then who will stand beside him when the music plays? The mere revelation of his bride's identity could ignite fireworks that ripple far beyond the Forrester estate. What was meant to be a double celebration could unravel into a double catastrophe. 2 ceremonies, 2 shattered hearts, and a legacy scarred forever. This is the kind of spectacle that only the bold and the beautiful can deliver. Spoilers whisper that Ridge and Brooke are destined to find their way back together, but destiny does not come without devastation. Taylor Hayes, steadfast and loyal, is once again positioned to be the casualty of Ridge's inability to break free of Brooke's pull. This isn't just another heartbreak for Taylor. This could be her ultimate undoing. Imagine standing at the altar, convinced the man before you is yours, only to watch his eyes betray you in front of the entire Forrester clan. If this betrayal plays out during a double wedding, the humiliation will cut even deeper. Taylor's love story, built on decades of hope and pain, could crumble in a single moment. The ripple effect will shatter not only her bond with Ridge but perhaps her trust in her own son for placing her in such a vulnerable position. Meanwhile, Thomas's future hangs on a knife's edge. If he follows through with Paris, he may gain stability, but stability in B&B rarely lasts. If he returns with a different bride, the drama will explode tenfold. Old rivalries could be reignited, and unresolved passions, particularly those linked to hope, could erupt all over again. The road ahead is clear in only one respect: it will not be smooth. This next chapter isn't about perfect weddings, it's about fractured loyalties, burning secrets, and the eternal war between passion and reason. For Ridge, Taylor, Brooke, Thomas, and Paris, every choice made in the coming weeks could alter their futures forever. Thomas Forrester's wedding is on the horizon, but the identity of his bride remains a ticking mystery, and when the truth comes out, it will send shockwaves through Los Angeles. Will Paris reclaim her role as his fiancée? Will Thomas stun everyone with an entirely different bride? Or will the Forrester estate witness a runaway groom and a shattered family instead of a happily ever after? Meanwhile, Ridge's heart remains torn between 2 women, and Taylor's dreams dangle by the thinnest of threads. Brooke's shadow looms larger than ever, ready to change the course of the ceremony before a single vow is spoken. One thing is certain. This wedding is no promise of joy. It is the calm before disaster.